Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Grave Reviews. My name is Chris, and today I've checked out a movie called The Cellar. That's right, a lot of people have them. I have one, and this is a movie about them, The Cellar. It is brought to us by Brendan Muldowney. Brendan Muldowney. I don't know why I'm repeating. I'm just repeating now. Brendan Muldowney wrote this movie starring one Elijah Cuthbert. Alyssa? Is it Elitha? Not the girl next door in this one. No, she plays the mom. So the movie is about this family that purchases this old house with a creepy cellar. That's the name of the movie too. It's pretty interesting how they just did that. And one night, actually the first night they move in, which is, we'll get into it, but the parents have to leave to go to an important advertising marketing campaign meeting in the middle of the night, as one often does. I mean, that's not weird. And during this time, the power goes out at the house, and the daughter has to go down the stairs while on the phone with her mom to reset the breaker. But during this time, she's counting 1, 2, the steps, but she just keeps counting and then disappears. And then supernatural hijinks ensue. We got math in this movie. This movie has math, and a bit of a ghost house haunting type movie. So, it looks great. I mean, it has a decent budget, I would assume. It's on Shudder. It's got Alyssa Cuthbert, one of the Cuthberts. I don't know what her fucking first name is. I should have looked it up, but there's no going back. It's well shot. It's got good sound design. I did not like the music very much. A lot of times it's very overpowering and a little much for what's going on. But overall, not the biggest fan of this. I think there's an interesting premise, which is why they made a short film called The 10 Steps. And that's basically the same scene as the opening of this movie. And it works well in a short, because sometimes shorts can just be like a sequence that leaves on like a very ominous and creepy note. And that's what that did. But then this is like the story that takes place after that. And it feels hobbled together, and it feels a little bit nonsensical in a lot of ways. There are interesting elements to this movie, namely that opening with the steps and disappearing, and then later what the reveal is, I think is interesting. But all the middle stuff in this movie, kind of a mess. The characters kind of suck. It's kind of boring, and then there's moments in this movie where they introduce the professor, and it's like some of the shittiest writing. I mean, the professor guy comes on, he's like, I have this brain injury, and now I can do the ultimate math. I see math here, and I see math there, I can explain it all. And that just comes off as like super hacky, super lazy writing. Like, we need a character who can explain everything. Well, what if a guy got hit in the head, and now he's like really smart at explaining everything? God, that's genius, man. That's just fucking genius. Like, it's dumb, it's cheap, it feels convenient to a lot of things. Now, you can say, Chris, if you look it up, people have had brain injuries and now they can know how to do math, and that's cool. It's just a little weird though too. Like, how often does that happen? I've had a brain injury myself. I was in a car accident. My head hit the car, not like I was in the car and I got crashed into, and my head went back, and this probably explains a lot of why I'm an idiot. So a lot of things in this script feel convenient. The parents leaving to go to this marketing meeting at night. It's just like weird. It's on the first day they move in. Like, why are you abandoning your kids? It just sits out when a bunch of those things keep happening. Right? There's a lot of repetitive scenes with counting. Like, this is a good movie if you wanted to teach your toddler how to count, because it's like 1, 2, 3, and it just keeps going. These scenes, and I think they think they're creepy, but it was cool the first time, but like the 4th or 5th time, I'm like, God damn it, I get it. And there's other sequences that they kind of just rehash over and over again, and it gets dull. I think the middle of this movie is really missing out on some potential. There's something to this, but they could have fleshed out the characters more and made it more interesting, because I didn't care about any of the characters. This daughter goes missing, and it's like the dad doesn't even care. He's basically not even a character. He shows up and like just disagrees with Alyssa Cuthbert, which is annoying because we know that something supernatural, we the viewer know something supernatural is going on. So we're like, yeah, uncover the mystery. And like, he just keeps saying, no, nothing's happening. And it's just annoying. It's just like busy work in the movie. It doesn't progress the plot forward or the story forward, and so it becomes frustrating and annoying. Like, the whole movie could essentially be like you could stop everything in this movie if you just put a door stopper in the basement door. Because I don't know how many freaking scenes in this movie are somebody going into the basement and then the door shut and then they can't get out. Like, if that happened once or twice, like, I'm gonna do something about that. I'm gonna put a door stopper, or I'm gonna remove the door or something, right? But it just keeps happening and happening. It's so frustrating. So I didn't understand the rules of the universe and why the supernatural things are kind of happening. They explain it in some ways where they feel like it's like they think they're being clever with the math and the Hebrew, and like it all boils down to being like, if you take these symbols and you smash them all together with this, it means something supernatural's happening. Oh shit! Like, there's movies that do this kind of stuff way better. Like, I'm thinking of A Dark Song, where a lot of the movie is spent like going through these rituals, and the way they do it makes it feel impactful, and it makes it have like meaning. Because so many horror movies are like, oh, we're gonna do a ritual, and then bang, 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 bong, we're gonna have a demon. And they don't bother with like any of the semantics with that. Like, the ritual is the interesting part a lot of times. And they kind of do that here. It's just like a quick explanation. Oh, if you do this, then I guess the houses, there's a Baphomet and there's demons and you can go to hell. And yeah, I mean, but it's all in the basement. It's just the basement. In the end, I'm trying to understand the themes of this movie, and I feel like they just don't have any because the characters aren't interesting enough. And their motivations, I get like, oh, we want to find our daughter, but the only person who really seems interested in finding the daughter is the mom. But they don't ultimately tie it back into any kind of theme they're exploring or anything. So it's all just kind of set up and premise and a little bit of a payoff by the end. I like some of the end visuals and stuff. I just feel like there's a ton of potential here that was wasted. So it's not completely awful. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. The Cellar, it is out on Shudder. If you have that, let me know what I should be watching, guys, and I will catch you here next time.